Hello everyone, welcome to Go Get My Guru. Before proceed with the today's session, let's have a look at agenda of today's session. Let's get started with the types of polymorphism in Python. In polymorphism, there are two types. The first is overloading and another one is method overriding. Again, in overloading, we have two different types of overloading, that is operator overloading and method overloading. Before discussing the operator overloading, let us first understand the meaning of the word operator overloading. Operator means it will do some functions and then overloading means giving some extra values. For example, let's consider in real time the refrigerator is an operator which will do a function called cooling for all types of food commodities. Like, if we keep water in the freezer, it will get converted into ice and for vegetables will act as a cooling preservative. Here, water and vegetables are operands and the cooling process is an operator. Like that, in coding or programming, plus is an operator which will do addition for two integers as well as for float data type and concatenation for two strings. Likewise, we have different operators. They are subtraction, multiplication and division. Then the definition for operator overloading is it refers to how a single operator behaves differently depending on the operands. We'll illustrate this with mind map diagram. Here, plus is an operator which will behave differently depending on the operands. The operands are integers, float and string. The plus operator means addition function which will do addition for int data type, that is 1 plus 2, as well as a float data type, that is 1.2 and 3.4, and concatenation for the string data type. Let's code this in VS Code. First we'll take integer data type, that is a is equal to 1 and b is equal to 2, and write one print function a plus b. Run this code. You can see the output is 3. In another way also, you can add this integers, that is print int dot add a comma b. Now run this code. Here also getting the same output, that is 3. Then here the conclusion is when you give plus operator, depending on data type, it will call to the methods of its respective data type class. Here data types are integer, so int is class. It will call to the add function which is in int class. We'll see one more example for string data type. Let's consider a is equal to hello and b is equal to go get my guru. When we give print with a plus b, it will automatically call the methods which is present in string class, that is str dot add a comma b. Now run this code. Here we are getting output is hello go get my guru. Likewise, if you use subtraction operator, it will call to the sub method depending on its data type. Hope you clear with this concept of operator overloading. Then next is method overloading. So what is method overloading? Developing multiple methods with the same name but variation in argument list is called as method overloading. Variation in the argument list means it can be variation in the length of an argument or it can be a variation in a data type of the argument. This is the simple example for method overloading. Here the method is add, which is same, but in first method there is null value and in second method there are two arguments. Like that, in third method there are 3 arguments. So here the name of the method is same but variation in length of the arguments. And next is the example for method overloading in class. Here chair is the class which is having the method def display chair price with variation in length of the argument. Like this we can achieve only in Java and C++. We can't achieve this in Python. So Python does not support the method overloading unlike other languages like Java and C++. To achieve this method overloading, we have to go for default arguments. Then what is default arguments? Default arguments in Python is The number of arguments that are present in function definition need not to be matched with the function call. For example, here chair is a class which is having a method called as display chair price. It is having a 3 arguments, that is self, A and B. Self is the default argument, A and B are user defined arguments. I am calling this function with only one argument. But in function definition there are 3 arguments. So, according to the definition, the number of arguments that are present in function definition need not to be matched with the function call. Then, next is, if there are no values in the function call, it will take default value which is in a function definition. Example for this, now calling this method with empty value. But in function definition, we have some values. When you run this code, you will get the values which are present in the function definition. That is default values. Keyword name is equal to value is used to assign the default values. It means in function definition, A is keyword and none is value. Like that, B is also keyword and 2000 value. Let's code this in VS Code. Create a class chair, then define a method, call it as display chair price with 3 arguments. First is self, it will take by default, and second one is A is equal to none, and third one is B is equal to 2000. Then write one print function with values A, B. Create an object for chair class. Chair is equal to chair. Calling a function with no values. There is no value or there is no argument in the function call, but in function definition there are 3 arguments. When we run this code, we should get output as none and 2000. Here we are getting output as none and 2000. None and 2000 are default values which are in the function definition. And then next is the number of arguments that are present in function definition need not to be matched with the function call. So calling this function by giving some value, that is 1000. When we run this code, 1000 will go to the position of A and B will be having the default value which is in function definition, that is 2000. So run this code, you should get output as 1000 and 2000. Then the conclusion of this default argument is, if we don't give any values while calling a method or while calling a function, it will take the default value which are present in the function definition. And one more thing is, there is no rules that the values in the function call should match with the values of the function definition. And then if we give new values while calling a function, the function definition will take that new value instead of default value which are already present in the function definition. Like this, we can achieve method overloading. Hope you are enjoying learning with us. Requested to like our videos to support us. Leave us a feedback in the comment section. Are you a subscriber to our channel? If not, requested to click on subscribe button and hit the bell icon to receive regular updates. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again in the next session. Keep coding. Happy learning.